those bachelorettes at the gay bars, they really piss me off.
You freaking open your mouth and product comes out.
Don't come between Barton Bradley and a limeade.
I'm really surprised.
Shit, we're gonna start having this wine. Maybe we'll show some true colors.
Sure. Leave.
I mean, I don't care if anyone's got a sex story in their.
I mean, right?
I mean, I
paid off a sex person. I mean, she made out.
So you need to study the jewelry.
I love that even Bradley defended his.
Here we go. We just have to wait on the FaceTime. Girl,
On the talent.
girl, the talent, Mr. Bailey. Oh, I'm gonna turn up my gain.
So this is episode 1. So it's
This
like
is officially
intro.
episode 1.
We're kicking this thing off.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we planned on doing and listening to Mr. Bailey and letting him do his talent thing, and we're just waiting on him.
I do like my outfit for episode
Mr.
1.
Bailey's ready for his appearance.
You know, I think I feel skinnier in this color.
Huh?
I feel skinnier in this dark.
I love
color.
it. Your bulge is like sticking out.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
Links in the.
I mean, you probably should have an OF.
Links in the.
So my.
Wait, is it just subtly?
I mean, you always have like a subtle bulge.
I
Can I
can't
tell
help.
you what
I
I'm
can't
actually
help
really
that I have a big
excited?
dick
And
inside
we're going
me,
to talk about it in a future episode,
you have
which
a-
actually next
I can't
episode.
help that I have a big
Okay,
dick
I'm very excited because we're going to talk about this in our next episode. But my when I had my tummy tuck, I got an unexpected pelvic lift,
Yeah.
so I can maybe compete with your bulge at some point.
No, you can't.
Going for it.
It's going to be very hard, right?
A mini is a mini no matter how much you pick it up.
You do what?
Girl, we're not talking about you here. We're not trying to like shame you. This isn't the body shaming episode. That's next week.
That's next week's
Next
episode.
week's
body
episode
shaming.
is
body
Next
shaming.
week, this one we're going to try to get through.
I showed Matt the football pictures. He's like, what kind of picture shit was this?
Okay, talk about
I mean-
shaming. Why is there shaming around getting like photos and job
Okay,
straps?
speaking of,
My
let's
point
talk
exactly.
about our weekend because I think it's really fun and it's a really good kickoff
Well, wait a minute,
to
wait. Back up.
Coffee with K's.
First of all, I'm Adam,
Oh, I'm Blaine.
I'm Ryan.
and welcome to
Coffee,
with
with
Gays,
K's. Yes.
where every sip
Sip
is a story.
It's a fucking story, girl.
Oh, and it's a few
Girl.
stories, girl.
And then we just decided to shorten girl to gur. It's just gur now. That's my favorite part. That's my new thing.
So this
That's all of
past
our new-
weekend, we were in Austin.
We're in Austin because we can't do anything normal. We can't have a photo shoot in Dallas where we live. We have to go do one in Austin. But
Well,
because Ryan has all the connects because of his, I don't know, you just know everybody.
Which I didn't know that he knew and took photos of so many like big people, at least of like social media, Instagram. Like I
Yeah.
was walking through it. I was like,
girl, that's
I
how
know.
I found. I
Girl.
connected us to the one that we needed to have a photographer.
I mean, first of all, have you looked at Ryan's photos? I mean, he has the best headshots. And then when you look at like the shot, like the full shot, you're like, girl,
there's
it's
some
that
shots
jock
where
strap.
you move that crop down.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like his professional LinkedIn photo and then like the full photo. Like he sent me the full album and I was like, oh, so like the top is like profesh and the bottom is a jock strap.
so is it
Like,
like you
I
in a
mean-
jock with the button down?
I mean, I've done
Kind of.
both. I
Yeah.
can do both.
Like it's like a sweater, like a really cute sweater, and then like a matching jock strap. Like that's what they are. And I was like, oh, it's that kind of shoe. I love it. I mean, that's so Ryan, by the way. Like that's what
I've always, I don't know. I think it's this idea of just like being able to be like, I can do both. Like I'm going to be the professional, but also, we're going to be a little slutty. It's
yeah.
fine.
I mean, he is a mullet.
I was gonna say it's just like a mullet.
It's
Yeah,
definition
Party,
of a mullet.
you know, business in the front, party in the
Yeah.
back.
So
Yeah, for sure.
Business
For
up top, party or
one of
1000%.
those. One of those is a party. One
So
of those
we
is
did a
business.
photo shoot in Austin for a Coffee with Gays.
Well.
You'll see it all over all of our Spotify and everything stuff, website. We have a whole designer and person doing everything, and I'm very excited to launch it. We had a really good time together. It was really fun with you guys. Yeah, I mean, we got crazy. Kind of don't remember everything we did. Okay, so I do remember this part. Okay, and this is like a great, like I don't know, foray into gay culture. But like, I love that you got us invited to a little pre-party.
So
'cause
my
we
friend-
have to pre-game everywhere we go.
my friend Mike
At least in
lives
Texas.
lives down in Austin. He used to live in Dallas here with us. So he moved down to Austin, and I was like, hey, let's hang out. So
Happened to be in
the
Austin for
four
a
of
random
us,
photo shoot.
yeah, and he lives right by the gay bar. So the four of us went over to his house.
Yeah, and we
And
walked
that's
in.
where you met.
We
And we
just
could
having a great time, like drinking our little tequila, talking about the bladders that we brought because what?
Yeah, no, I was just rewinding a little bit just because we hadn't talked
Oh,
about the photo shoot. But even, I mean,
let's actually rewind.
because I
Good
think
point.
that something that I think is hilarious and fascinating and fun, but great for all of us is like, we're so excited to record our first episode. And we have a photo shoot already. We have all of our domains, the marketing, the whatever. And so we're really excited to actually have some content. But the photo shoot, we're establishing our brand as Coffee with Gays. And so went down last Friday night. I know, Blaine, you were up all night, so excited getting ready for this. We're getting all our outfits together. We had a Wagoneer and we loaded that thing up like it looked like we were going camping for a month.
Literally one night in Austin. And it was
we had to have
so
all the
much
looks.
stuff and all the props and all the looks.
So
it went so well though. And thank you for that photographer. He's so good.
Yeah. Link. We'll tag him.
We are going to have all of our social medias in the profile. And let's see. And there's also like all of our personal socials. I'm not in a jockstrap, unlike both of you. But well, we don't know what Adam's posting. But
yeah. We were in
the same
jockstrap.
Except I put shorts on. I just wanted to see the band coming up above the shorts.
I gotta say, I think we were very efficient in this photo shoot.
Oh, for sure.
Like it was probably the most efficient. Well, when I was doing the selects for this, I was like, almost didn't know what to do because there was just so many photos.
You have to also remember you were standing there and you were literally like waving in like an airplane too. Where you were like, you go, you're done. I
like to call myself Kris Jenner. I mean, I am Mama Jenner of this crew. I mean, we are going to get this shit done and out the door for real.
We were there on a mission. We knew what we needed. I had started a whole mood board.
Yeah.
The two of us saw.
Best mood board.
And we wanted to make sure. I just wanted to go in knowing and also, I mean, side note or intro, like, because I do some of this stuff for work. So I think it was easy to already be in that frame of mind, but I just really wanted us to go in and have at least somewhat of an idea of what we wanted. And if we had our designer, we wanted to know, okay, we're getting what we need for what we know we're going to produce. So some organization in that sense. And then Blaine.
And we all were able to do both personal and Coffee with Gays stuff and professional for me. Like, I've got all of it.
And
the
hot and handy.
The hot and handy is going to be the hottest guy on what's it called? TaskRabbit. When we set you up on TaskRabbit.
Hot and Handy's Adam. Just
Hot and Handy's Adam. And he's a handyman. And he will be the hottest guy on TaskRabbit for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you're going to be the hottest bikers as part of AIDS Life Cycle for sure. And you have an entire year's worth of photos for every holiday, which was very impressive.
Because I did. Even Bradley was like, wow, you're so strategic and thoughtful. Like, because we planned out photos for like 4th of July. Blaine helped with that one. But I was already looking ahead to Christmas.
Into 4th of July.
Christmas.
I was like, and 4th of July, which was perfect. I'm really excited for that one.
Because that's like our anniversary. So.
Yeah, it's your anniversary. Easter, and we're going to be celebrating
4th of July, Halloween, Christmas.
We'll just have to go do another photo shoot.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do another photo shoot because that was really, really super fun. And Austin was super fun too. I mean, like, well, I got to say, okay, Austin is one of my least favorite Texas towns. I don't know. I'm a Dallas guy. I mean, I'm from Dallas originally. So I'm just like,
Which I'll agree with you because I like Dallas more but I think part of that is we know a lot of people in Dallas.
Yeah.
So
I'm from here, so I'm partial. I always will be. I think everybody's nicer here. I like Houston people. I think they're very nice. I think the problem with Houston is hot and humid for me. That's my only issue. But Austin, oh God, there's just so many issues with people. Like and also like what I like to say, it's barbecue and breakfast tacos. And it's always been barbecue and breakfast tacos. There's no fine dining. There's no orchestra. There's no symphony. Like, I'm not trying to be a snob here. There's no fine arts scene. It's a college town. It still is. I don't care how many people from California move there. It's still Austin. And, everybody can hate me. But it's true. And when you move there, you'll realize it. So go move there and tell me I'm wrong.
Snap.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about our weekend in Austin.
So
What'd you think?
we went.
I can't wait to tell about the pre-party.
Oh my gosh! So we went, had the photos done. They took about 4 hours?
Within three
and a
three
half
hours.
hours.
Straight.
Okay.
Probably 3.5, because even the first 45 minutes was just us ironing and getting our outfits together. So
The
I think with that, it was still within 3.5
Ironing and
hours.
organizing
very
the
efficient.
Wagoneer of props.
the food was a little subpar, but you know,
Typical
we'll,
this catering. The
I know
catering
catering.
service.
Why does the catering always slack in all of this? Like even today's catering just slacked. I just don't understand. It's like they just can't get stuff put together, and you know, it's always the catering room's a mess. I just don't get it.
So I would like to say I ordered from Foxtrot because Mr. Bailey said he wanted a charcuterie board. So I did order charcuterie from
So
Foxtrot.
hold on. With that,
And
before
it's not my fault.
Wait,
that Foxtrot
wait,
does not include.
wait. What does a
Cheese.
charcuterie board
It
include?
did not include cheese,
Hold on.
and I did not.
Hold on. A charcuterie board includes all of the following: cheese, crackers, meats, some sort of grape, honey, things like that. What was the one thing in there that we did not have?
And this is the
Cheese.
part where Blaine and I just have to shut up because we're trying to make sure the sound is okay and let Mr. Bailey talk,
Yeah.
even though none of us want to hear it.
Exactly. So Mr. Bailey has diabetes.
Whoa.
In case anybody didn't know, so we have to make sure the blood sugars are normal. And
How are they tonight?
How are your sugars tonight? Are they good?
they're
They're good. I'm glad. I'm glad that your sugars are good, and we are constantly, caring about that. And we love you. And glad you're wearing your monitor. He couldn't wear his monitor during the photo shoot. And
Speaking of loving,
speaking of loving you, what did I get you as a gift? And I did stay up super late writing you guys special notes in your book.
like
that
lots
was
of like
super
wrote a
long.
novel.
And I love this. And when you said that you got us a book, the first thing in my mouth was, I don't like to read.
And
Text
I
messages
said,
or anything.
I said, don't worry, Adam, it's all pictures. And it was not a joke. It really is pictures. And I love
Yeah,
this
I
book.
can't.
It's
So-
loving pictures of gay men from 1850 to 1950, right? Is that
which
what it
is which is mind-blowing, because when you think about the gay world and like, you don't think about gay men in the 1850s. You don't think about that. You scroll through this and your mind is blown.
I think you
by
went through
this.
every page and I was very impressed.
And I love
And someone with ADD, I was very impressed.
I love things like this. Like things like this, I'm just mesmerized about how somebody in the 1850s could stand on a beach and kiss each other. Like two men. I'm like, in the 1850s, they would have hung you back then.
Yeah, it's actually very a very impressive book, and the index actually goes through. And if they did have the authors had any information about it, they'll actually tell you where they got the photos from. I just was so inspired, and I love to give my friends this book and write something special about them finding love, whatever that is for them. And then also not just about love, romantic love, but also the love of friendship, which I also think is a super important thing. And I love this coffee table book. And so I have one too here. And I said, as we're starting Coffee with Gays, basically I hope you guys find love, and I love you as friends. And I am super happy to be doing this with you. And we can share this coffee table book at our homes, and it's kind of our big launch thing that we did with our photo shoot. So
And I love
and
it.
it's a photo book. I'm terrible with gifts, y'all.
This
But
what do you mean
sometimes
terrible.
no, I'm
This
terrible
was a
with
good
gifts.
one.
And it's not like I'm consistent with it, but sometimes I nail it. I knew I nailed this one, and it probably won't happen again for a while. But I'm just it's every birthday or everything like that. I'll show up, but I'm not a great gift person. But sometimes there's just certain moments where I'm okay, this is a perfect time to do a good gift. So I stayed up late, wrote a note, and I even got a hug from Adam, which I was oh my God, he actually appreciated.
And I will say this. I'm not the most, I don't want to say over the top person, but I'm not the most
Grateful.
surprised. Not that I'm not grateful, but it's very hard to wow me. And that was a very touching book. I will admit that. That was a very wow, this is actually a really good book. because if I didn't like it, I would not have went through it. I just scrolled through 3 pages.
Good thing I nailed that one. Yeah, it's actually a good one. Anybody who's gay, like, I totally recommend it. Like, it's a great.
It was touching. It was very touching.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I really loved it, and it was a really fun weekend, and I really enjoyed it with you guys.
A great book, but I loved that your connection of the meaning behind this book and the stories. I remember in your message with this podcast, something that we're all embarking on together, and that this is going to be our way to share the stories that need to be heard, and to share, like, kind of like this book. And it's not 1850s, right? It's 2023, but like, we're able to I love that you connected that, and like, that's where you had that purpose behind the book, is looking ahead of how we're going to do this together. We know it may be it already has been a bumpy start, but we're getting it going. We're getting it going. And it was a reminder, I think, of how we're going to stick this out and go for it.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, in my career, I have done a lot of different things. And this is the one thing that I've actually been really excited to do, because I've always wanted to make a difference in the world. And, like, these guys in this book, like, I feel like they kind of made a difference by just being themselves, right? And I think that's what I wanted to do. And I think when we first started talking about it, Adam was the first one that said he was allowed to make a difference back when we kind of like first started talking about this concept, because he was like, oh yeah, I can just say anything I want. I don't have to like answer to anybody. Pre a lot of things, but I think that was career wise and not me. Like I still had the career, but now like that I'm like doing my own thing and like able to do what I want. Like I really care about this, and I put a lot into it. And I do really care about like, doing more for our community as gay men, and supporting our community. And I think we can do a lot for that. And I'm super duper excited to be, kind of supporting that. And
I think a lot of this opens up the eyes of the straight world into the gay world, to let them see like what actually happens in a gay man's world, because it is very different. And it's progressed a lot, but it's still a lot different than what a straight person deals with. I mean, we deal with a lot of backlash. Even still in 2023, we still deal with a lot of backlash. Girl. And even in today's news, I mean, look what's going on in the news right now with the drag queens. As stupid as that is, like, we're still dealing with that crap.
So true. And I gotta say, like, even in my career, like, I thought like I had already dealt with enough of that, and it reared its ugly head, and I was kind of shocked by all of that. And even these last few years, and yeah, we still have to deal with that shit, and it really sucks. And I'm not one, by the way, to say that or ever. Well, I'm actually the opposite of that. I'm actually the one that's like, you know what? We all have to deal with shit. Like, I will never be the one to say like, I'm, what is it? A protected class of any kind.
I'll just actually say this as I spill. I'm more of the conservative side of the gays. Yeah, right now, much so. But I will say this: as the whole drag thing, my jaw dropped, absolutely dropped. To sit there and think that somebody could sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, like this is what's destroying the world." I'm going, come on, like really. Even as my political views,
I mean, you know what's destroying the world? The moms that bring the little girls to the drag shows. I just don't get that one, but that's just
well, and I do see that as I'm like, if there's an issue, with kids being there, then as a parent, don't bring your kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't everybody mad at the parent? I just don't get it. Like, I wouldn't take my kid. My mom didn't take me to drag shows. She didn't also take me to rated R movies or anything else. I mean, right. I don't know.
I remember sitting at Titanic.
Did she take you to that show?
No, not rated R. No drag.
She take you to strip shows? Strip clubs?
She would now. But no, not
well, now for sure.
Now I'm the one strip.
Oh my God! I remember.
I'll just wait till you go to Homosassa.
Oh my gosh! I remember
that. I'll be stripping together on the bar.
Yeah,
now.
For sure, and you too. Yeah.
I remember back in the day when I went to go see Titanic, and my father was like covering my eyes as I was sitting beside him, and he's like, "You cannot see this," and I'm like, "Lo and behold, I'm gay." Like,
Oh,
My,
yeah.
my mom did actually take me to see that. And so I remember that because I saw it a couple weeks ago in Dallas. It was like back for the 20th anniversary.
well,
Of
girl, your
Titanic?
mother was sitting there with a bowl of
Titanic.
popcorn, wondering if she's like, is he gonna be gay or straight? What's going on here?
I don't know. She swears still now that she had no idea. She knew that I was a little different, you know, that for a while, this one always gives everyone laughs, that she thought I was asexual. That was a I thought that for a hot minute as well.
What?
I did, but like I didn't have any friends. I didn't really think one thing or another. Like I was just the nerd teacher's pet doing my school homework. Didn't have
You were
like,
a nerd.
like I wasn't made fun of. Like I wasn't like picked on or whatever. Like people knew me, but I didn't have like close friends. Like I wasn't actually friends really with anyone at school. So it wasn't. Yeah, it was until like. I mean, in high school, like played water polo, editor in chief of yearbook.
I
like,
mean, I
people
could
knew
see
me,
water
but-
polo for sure. Wow, that
But
was
the funniest,
rude.
the funniest thing.
I'm
too-
sorry, like, was
and
that like a
maybe-
rude thing?
No, maybe one
Okay,
thing.
the
that-
water polo guys at
one-
Pepperdine were really dumb,
Well, one
but
thing
you're
that
not
maybe,
dumb.
maybe started thinking of like.
But
I
you're
think-
hot.
Thinking back now, but
and
like no, I
tan.
was on the team. That like water polo had just started, and we were all like the misfit team, and I was like mixed match. Oh, I'm getting really loud.
No, you're not.
Oh.
You need it like closer to you.
Closer.
I was thinking water sports.
You need it like
That's another
position.
subject. But no, like I was on a team where water polo had just started, so we were all a bunch of like scrawny ass kids and different. Like we weren't coordinated, and we went to go play, like the Orange County, California, like of Florida water polo teams. And I remember they all came around, like we're all in the pool, freezing our asses off. They all come around the corner late because they could care less, like showing up on time. And they were all like super ripped, hot, tan, matching suits, matching like fur parkas, matching duffel bags. And I was like, damn, you know? And then I remember telling my grandma this later of how they walked around the corner, and it was just like a bunch of Abercrombie models, you know, at the time.
and you weren't that.
I wasn't, no, because I was
But I
so
think you kind of
skinny.
were, Ryan. You kind of are now.
Well, I
You're
hope
not
so.
an
Is
Abercrombie
my dream
model?
finally come true? No.
I think so. Like
Like
everybody
Abercrombie took
thinks
a
that.
flop.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's like, everybody's been in love with you. I mean,
I'm like smiling, but I'm also like, I don't know what you mean.
pre Bradley, like I don't know what you mean. Like everybody's like not been in love with me, even though like everybody has. Like I really can't think of
I don't
anyone in
say
the friend
that.
group that hasn't been in love with you. Probably except me.
Well,
Am I the only one? Was I the
Mr.
tail
Hare
end?
hasn't.
Mr. Hare has it.
No, I don't
Okay.
think.
Really?
Not that I
Yeah,
know.
earlier you were very
Well.
confused by that comment. So that actually means he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
he has.
hardly ever.
has he?
No.
He
Yeah.
has?
Yeah.
Well, he
What?
He didn't give me
No.
zero.
Are you
gave me
serious?
Yeah,
Zero
girl.
ideas.
Girl, hold on. Time out. We have to go from coffee to tea and let's spill this shit right now. Start pumping that
I
up.
love that transition.
Days
That
of tea.
in every episode. Sorry, we get.
Oh
Is that
my
the-
God.
is that
How
the
did you
thing?
find that out?
Well, he told me. I mean, he told me. I
Was this
know.
while I was seeing
No,
it?
this was just like originally. Oh no, not hair. Sorry, it's not hair.
Oh, toilet seat?
No, we already know about that one.
Counting?
No, well that one
In
too.
the laundry room? With the dryer?
No. And basically everybody else. Okay, everybody else. But luckily, Bargain and Bradley got Ryan. So
Welcome to
there you
Clue. It was the toilet seat in the laundry room with
Oh, you
the
just filtered?
with
Right.
the coffee mug.
Everybody's been in love with Ryan. So there you go. That's it.
Well, so like I said, from a nerd, no friends, to apparently a few people,
A
were
few
interested.
admirers.
But I'm just saying that, yeah, I didn't have any, and I mean, I'm not gonna go down all that just yet. But like that's the background. Like, didn't have friends, and so it was when I went to
I'm
college.
like shocked by that.
College
I'm
was the-
shocked too by
College
that.
was the first time where I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn this around because it doesn't feel like me. Like, I feel like I want to be involved. So that was when I was able to like start getting connected and developing friends and join the surf club and then president of surf club. But yeah,
That's so funny.
wasn't
You know,
until
it was
then.
for college for me too. Everybody thinks I'm like the most outgoing person in the world, but I'm actually like the biggest introvert in the world, or was.
Hmm.
Girl,
I'm shocked. I know because
Right?
we've only known each other last 2 years.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
and like I think people are like also very shocked by this. So I actually had a whole life change, and I went to hypnotherapy again. But I went to hypnotherapy pre-college because I had so much anxiety over going to college and meeting people. And I was always popular in high school, but like middle school was awful for me. It was just the worst. And in elementary school, my mom was like the homeroom mom and stuff. And like I would just like sit in a corner by myself and like not talk to anybody. And she was like, "What's wrong with my son?" I'm like, "Blaine, come play. Like I paid for all this stuff." And I would be like, "No, I'm fine." Like I was an only child. I don't know. I didn't know how to socialize.
Me too.
Wait a minute.
That's probably what it was. Maybe that's what it was.
Do you guys remember in high school, senior year, your senior superlatives?
Oh, I don't know what it was, but I have to go
Like
look at it.
best dressed, big, like best
No, I
smile.
was most likely to succeed, and I
Did you?
fought
You
for
got
that.
yours.
Yeah, I got one.
Did you get one, Ryan?
Tell you.
And look at me, I'm on a podcast at almost 40.
Best dress.
Senior superlatives were like
for best dress.
You got best dressed?
I was in the running, but I didn't get it. And I remember thinking, "Oh my God, someone noticed me."
Do you know what I got?
What? Loudest?
Class clown.
Class clown.
Biggest gossip.
Not
shocker.
shocking. I mean, this is the one I'm coming up here with toilet seat.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. My whole thing is people would tell me stuff, and then somebody would ask me, be like, "Oh my God, what do you know about this?" And they didn't say it was a secret, so I'd be like, "Oh well."
Oh, you got to
It's
specify.
also like Regina George, where I would throw the papers all over the school and just walk away.
You know what? I don't know. So like we're referencing Regina George, Mean Girls, but like we're gonna have some listeners. They're gonna have no idea what that means or who that is, because I remember I had a moment. I was at an intern. It's not Mean Girls, but similar, because I guess, but an internship in there. I had just started working at Twitter, and we had an intern come in, and I said something about Britney Spears, and he's like thinking like, "Oh my God, isn't she retired? I thought she's like in her 50s."
Does that mean how old we are? Are we that old?
I almost lost, and I'm not kidding. This was like 8 years ago.
Is that how old we are?
Yeah. So just a reminder,
Girl.
Oh.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh.
I mean, we're old, girl. I know. Well, hence why I've got all the plastic surgery things going on and all the face
That's
things.
on the next episode.
At the age of 45.
Yeah, we're talking about that on the next time. I'm a bloated goat right now because of all the.
My God.
I'm healing. I'm in the healing process. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
There's gonna be a lot of these healing moments because I'm going to
inside and out.
I'm going to age backwards. I've decided I'm not going to
You're
age
not Reynolds.
forward. Well, no, I want to be Reynolds, but I'm unfortunately white, so I have to do more work. So do you.
Yeah,
and you too.
That's
yeah,
true. I know.
Unfortunately, when we're white, we
Mama
have to like do more work than our. Actually, I was just out with one of my friends the other day, and he's a beautiful Latino guy, and we went to college together, and he's like still looks like college days, and I was like, he hasn't had anything done, and I was like, you know what? He's like, well, it's because I'm a Latino, and I was like, yep, yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm like, I'm getting laser surgery done again in round 2. Couple weeks. I'm like, just got a whole bunch of plastic surgery, but you know what? Good for you. But got to do what we got to do. I mean, You got to do something quick, Adam, because you're looking old. I thought you were older than me.
I know. How many chins did we count on that photo shoot?
6.
We're definitely getting you a little Kybella. We're gonna get you a little Kybella after the photo shoot for sure.
Actually, you know what? My mom did I tell you?
She did Kybella?
My mom, no, she taught me neck yoga. So when we were there in Florida, so you have to,
you're guzzling like this.
Yeah, and you just lift your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And so when Bargain Bradley and I were there in February, we'd be in the hot tub, hang out with my mom and dad, and like that's where she taught us neck yoga. So my mom's always trying to look out for herself and me, trying to keep us young.
I'm just getting my chin laser.
That's like the ball you put in your mouth and you start chomping down, and you're like, to get a stronger jawline.
I mean, you clearly don't do it, girl. I'm just saying.
Well, girl, the gym hadn't seen your ass in a couple of years.
Oh, he just had surgery.
Girl, I just had surgery, girl. And I've been at the gym. I have been at the gym working. Okay, look, you sound like Reynolds when he said that I need to get a refund on my surgery. I've been at the gym and I'm about to get cleared in like 2 weeks for going back to the gym after my surgery. And I'm very excited. And then I'm going to be harder than you. What are you going to do?
Girl.
First of all, I'm taller than you. And like the other day when I was at the bar, your ex-boyfriend came up to you, a shocker. And I had a hot Cajun guy come up to me, which speaking of gay relationships.
Speaking of gay relationships.
Crazy. Both friendships and relationships are the most ridiculous things ever.
Why friendships?
Crazy.
Well, not friendships. I just think like meeting new gay men is like the most frustrating thing ever. Like in Austin this weekend. Okay. We walk into your friend's house with like just, I don't know, like a bunch of guys with like so much lip filler. Like it could barely fit in the door, except that one tall guy was hot. He was hot, girl.
He looked like Lisa Rinna.
They all did.
All of them?
Not all of them, but a little lip. Actually, by the way, I will say, okay, I'm going to admit this.
I didn't even notice
after our photo shoot. I think I'm going to get a little lip filler.
Oh my God.
I actually.
Well, then you can go be friends with the poster boys.
By the way,
called Carol Black. Like,
after so I get actually some Restylane lift with my next.
It's called a hair lift.
I'm going to get like what's it called? A lip flip.
A lip flip. Yeah.
I'm going to get a lip. So I don't think they're wrong. But then that guy, like, literally I walk in, I'm like, we're having a good time. It's like all these new people that I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like, what's his face called me a cartoon character.
Well, there's a reason behind that.
What?
I don't think he had
You're not a cartoon character, but you
like
definitely try to fly in a 757 every day.
Sure that he like was kind of maybe.
He was just saying you're very animated. There's nothing wrong with
that.
He
did say he liked the bear.
That I like to what?
That he liked the bear.
I know. I'm not a bear.
Really? Call him a bear. He didn't call him a bear too.
He said he likes
hairier.
Oh, he just made a point about that was the bar he liked to go to, and the other one's like the hairless guys.
No, he said I like a bear.
By the way, can I tell you? I love that Adam thinks I'm a bear. Isn't that rude?
I've never thought of you as a bear. I know we go to Hidden Door, but
I know we go to Hidden Door, but I'm clearly not a bear.
You're like a Winnie the Pooh, very like nice and
I mean, speaking of next week on Coffee with Gays, we're talking about body positivity and how we like give each other shit all the time. And
there it is.
I mean, I don't know what you are.
Look at Tigger,
slutty fucking bottom. You get spit roasted in Austin, but we'll leave that later and won't get cut out in post.
Yeah,
but. I got called a cartoon character, and then
someone's still really like having some feelings about this cartoon character.
It's a little salty. Did you not think it was a salty comment?
But hold on, and I think in today's world, especially gay world,
but I also feel like it was a little flirty. Was it flirty?
So let me go with this. I think in the gay world is that some people attack and bust your balls to try to be flirty. So I think that he was definitely flirting with you. Because he was around you the whole night.
And then he made sure to like say goodbye and like do this whole thing.
That motherfucker was like, peace, see you, bye.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was like, but I am a cartoon character, really? Yeah.
But he was trying to get your attention, and he got your attention.
It obviously worked.
And it set in, and it worked.
I think I've been already friended on some kind
of. Did you accept it?
No, I don't accept anybody, by the way.
So who do you accept?
Me. No, I mean. I'm Penelope.
I don't ever. I just
Saturday Night Live. Penelope here, right here.
I just don't like to accept people when they like friend me on things.
I just think
I'm just popular.
Yeah.
I also just don't really have time. I mean, I'm like,
you have time to read it but not accept it.
I have to think about it.
What's there to think about?
I mean, like, do I really want to like?
No, do you want to accept? Like, do you actually know them? Are you actually friends? Do you want to get to know them?
Time out.
Good point. Yes, exactly.
Time out. The way that I look at it is, do I know them or do I not know them? It's either I know them or I don't know them.
How long it took me to like accept you and get to know you.
First of all, you added me. I didn't.
I don't think that's the case.
What about? Can we get back onto?
I don't think we can, but we'll have Reynolds do that for us. Because I'm pretty sure. Are you on a gay group chat right now? Or are you looking at Bargain Bradley?
No, I just was going to check to see if Adam and I were actually friends on Facebook or not. And then I saw that Bargain Bradley sent me a photo. He's lit up a fire pit tonight.
Oh, he's trying to tempt you to go home.
Yeah, probably.
Hi, Bargain Bradley.
Yeah,
we love you.
That's cute. Yeah,
that is cute.
We'll get there.
It is cute. We do love Bargain Bradley.
We are friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Which
that happened the first night that we slept together. Thank you.
Good. Wow. So we became official friends that night. Yes. And speaking of relationships, a lot of ways that we, it's like they call it like gay handshake.
Just stick it in the butt.
Just go ahead. You know what? Test it out. Give it a ride.
Stick it in the butt, and then next thing you know, we're BFFs.
Yeah. You just gotta give it a good feel first.
Okay, I gotta also since you're talking about this topic, since the topic is really kind of gay relationships, I would say this is probably part one of probably 800 because I think my straight girlfriends are probably the most fascinated by this topic.
Is this why I have 1,400 friends?
It's literally for sure. For sure. And by the way, Mark Zuckerberg, a personal message to you, stop fucking with the metaverse and all this stuff. I need Facebook to stay around because I need to know how many people are mutually connected. So I know who slept with who prior to me. It's the mutual friend thing. And I also need to know who's gay. You can easily tell somebody's gay.
Oh, yeah. When you click on that and there's
5 mutuals, you're okay, good. But now I'm getting a little nervous, with people aren't really into this anymore. It used to be super easy. Now it's getting a little hard. I lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
I mean, I remember being a little terrified. I saw the progression of my Facebook profile getting gayer and gayer, and I remember just thinking well, I'm going in deep now. This is what it is. What it is. I'm getting gayer by the minute.
Oh, well, I remember. God, mine started in Facebook.
You did
or
what?
MySpace. Mine started in MySpace.
Well, that's how everybody found out I was gay.
MySpace?
MySpace. I actually have a really great coming out story, and it happened with MySpace. So I was being a little rebel at Pepperdine, which is a super conservative school, if anybody knows.
My sister.
Yep. And, it's a Church of Christ. And my parents went to a Nazarene church in Sherman, Texas, which is up north. Yeah, up by Bell's, my boyfriend. And there was this woman, fucking weirdo, let me tell you. And she wanted me to date her daughter so bad. And red flag number 1, by the way.
How did she not know you were gay?
Well,
this was high school.
This was
you were on the football team.
I was on the football team. I was dating another girl, and I went to an Assembly of God church. I was way crazier.
You dated a girl?
I was engaged.
To a woman? Are you serious?
Yes.
Stop it.
I love this content.
Am I the only? You haven't, have you?
So the only girl.
I definitely know where the clit is. I got the whole map to everything.
So
I'm actually really good at it.
I'm going to cut in for 2 seconds.
I got to tell you the pheromone situation is okay. Continue.
2 seconds, real quick. My first girlfriend, Wendy, I had to have sex with her, and I faked it, sadly. Second girlfriend, Lindsay, I went down her, but never had sex with her. And she was the reason why I came out because she cried so bad. She was like, "You don't love me." And I felt horrible. I knew I was gay and I felt horrible. And I had to come out. So get back to that.
I just, fell in love with a girl. We were very religious. And I was actually more religious than my parents. It wasn't even them being religious. It was more like me being religious. But I went to a really religious church, Assembly of God,
Church of Christ?
More than that. Not snakes,
holy
going
rollers?
around, but very holy roller, speaking in tongues.
The tongues, girl.
Yes, girl. Yeah.
And Blaine was in the front going, "Hallelujah."
I mean, but I had the pastor talking to me about we're gonna have sex and shit.
Said that to you?
Yeah, if me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend, because we spent too much time together, he said that we were going to have sex and we were going to live in sin.
I thought you meant the pastor was trying to have sex with you.
I thought the pastor was trying to have sex with Blaine.
I was like, what?
No, but I will say my youth pastor was really, really cute. But
Aren't
he
they
was the one.
always?
But yeah, he caused a big controversy because he said that my girlfriend and I were going to have sex, which we ended up doing. Anyway, we lived in sin. I lived in a little sin with women.
How much of that was forced?
It wasn't forced. I always say this, it was not forced. It was more
uncomfortable.
No, I didn't know any better. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right? So, like, this is the way. No, I'm going to tell you, I was in high school, and I will tell you, the multiple women that I like did things with and did sexual things with, I never really got it. And like all my dude friends in like the locker room were like, oh yeah, I ate her. Yeah, she's so hot, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, maybe like I'll figure it out eventually or whatever. And then I remember my favorite story, and this is the day that I figured it out, is I had these two girlfriends in college at Pepperdine, and they were seniors. I love you. And they took me out to the gay bars in West Hollywood a few times. And I was like, I just like to dance, you know.
Oh,
that
sounds like because they knew.
They knew. These girls knew. They were seniors. I was a little freshman, and I dressed like such a dork, y'all. Like, I mean, the biggest dork. And
in drag.
No, I mean, I can't tell you what I was wearing. It's just like, I was wearing like khaki pants almost. Like,
I
was
would
just
love to see a photo.
I don't even think I have a photo, but it was like these like Nordstrom shirts I'd buy that were like crew neck and like really shiny.
So like jack off of Will and Grace?
I mean, yes, for sure. That's exactly what I looked like. And I would go out and we would dance. And I remember I kissed this guy, Rusty. Shout out to Rusty. If he's out there.
You were still straight. You went to...
I was still straight, yes.
You went to a gay bar with the two girlfriends, and you kissed a guy
they pushed me. It was like the third time we did it, and they finally pushed me into this guy, Rusty. And I was drunk, and I kissed him. And when I kissed him, I was like 18 years old, and I go to myself in my head, I go, "Holy shit, that's what it is supposed to feel like."
It made sense in that moment.
By the way, I gotta tell you, this guy was like the biggest freaking nerd. Like, he was, I just like a total nerd. Like I think he was like kind of like this weird, like tiny redhead. Like, definitely nothing I would ever go for. But like, I remember thinking like, wow, like fireworks. And it was just because I was making out with a guy. And then ever since then, and then when I had sex for the first time with the guy, I was like, oh my God, like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. So my whole point in this is like, you don't know what you don't know. And I do think, like, while I respect and love women, I get that the pheromone smell situation is different between men and women. So when I wake up with a guy, it just is different. And when I woke up with a girl, I was like, ugh. It just doesn't sit right with me, is what I'm saying. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How about your first time?
You don't know what you don't know, because I've never had sex with a girl, and I'm also an only child that was C-section, so wasn't even born out of my mom's.
You're a platinum.
Which nobody knows what a platinum is, so explain it.
So a platinum.
What am I? Just a nothing. I'm just.
I'm the same with me. I'm a punch card too. So a platinum is.
I don't even know all these terms.
So
I made a punch card.
So a platinum is you came out of C-section and you've never been with a girl, so you've never touched the vagina in your life. A gold star gay is that you
like Ryan's learning on the podcast.
A gold star gay is you either had sex with a female or you came out of the vagina. One way or another, you touched a vagina and you're a gold star gay. And then there's the punch card gays, which is us, where we came out of vagina and we also have been up in a vagina.
I mean, I just made up punch card gay, but I like it.
I ran with it.
I mean, we punched a lot of cards. Yeah.
I guess
we're just horse.
I don't know. One thing. Yeah.
I really think going down on a woman is like a thing. God,
yeah.
I hope my mom doesn't listen to the first episode.
I hope the moms listen.
Maybe she won't get through. I don't care if Cindy gets through this part, but like
Cindy's gonna listen. She'll be disturbed. Mona will listen and she'll want to know more, and she's gonna be on the podcast.
We're gonna report live from Homosassa. You're coming to. It's very exciting.
Little teaser. Me and Mona have been dildo shopping in Spain, so.
I gotta go dildo shopping when
so apparently platinum gay. I don't know. The first thing that still like sparks for me though is like that there should be this sense of pride, I guess, with being platinum. Like it's special or it's good or it's like elite, but I don't think that it needs to be like elevated like that. But that is just that's just the facts. I had one girlfriend, my first. So like I said, I mean, I didn't have any friends. I had that period where my mom and I thought I was asexual. My first kiss with anybody other than like my mom or my dog, like an actual like kiss or whatever, was actually on Lake Eola, downtown Orlando, with my first girlfriend, and I was so awkward, so nervous and weird. I've gotten so much better. But yeah, that was the first kiss, and we would like dry hump with like clothes on, and so like, but like there was never actual sex.
Did you actually come when you did that?
I did.
Yeah.
Really?
I used to get like giant.
Yeah, it came, and
yeah, and it went.
And it went. And so like
I used
sometimes
to get like a big spot from just dry humping.
I never with a female. I had to fake orgasms. Like, I was like, oh, and they're like, oh my god, this is how girls do it. Oh god,
I don't know. I mean, we were into each other, right? Like, I mean, you feel a connection with someone. Yeah. I was also like,
people ask me this question. I'm like, it still works, especially when you're 18, 19.
Well, this was clothes on.
But you also have to...
but I mean, you still get turned on. It's not like you don't get turned on.
So not to jump ahead of yours, but when I knew that I was gay, I was young. Like, I was young. So get back to you, and then we'll go back to me with that, because I was young.
Yeah. Yeah, so mine, was after that. I mean, that was like early college, and it wasn't until I'd actually gone out to California for an internship at Quicksilver. But when I came back...
The board shorts.
Yeah, board shorts, surfing, like total SoCal surf, which, I mean, my experience, I don't remember if we've talked about this yet, but like, loved Southern California. So, but like my experience was like typical, like
love a whole
surfing and so, I mean, I loved it, right? So I broke up with that girlfriend while I was on that trip, but it wasn't like, I still hadn't had any thought or realization or thinking about being gay. But like, it was just a distance thing. Like I was having a good time, 3-hour time difference. Like I don't want to stay up late talking. So regardless of, who that significant other was, I was having a good time and enjoying California and surfing and all that. But like, I went back and I remember that fall of junior year, started a new job, felt like I didn't have, any friends again. And like, but there was another guy that worked on the on-campus job that I had started. And, so we were just hanging out, went over to his apartment, and it was just like, oh yeah, like check out my apartment. I thought we were kind of becoming friends, but and I remember sitting down on his bed. He sat on his bed, next thing you know, like I'm getting closer, and we just started getting closer. And then we're like, my hand reaches over, and it just was this like magnetic pull, and we just held hands. And I swear my heart was pounding so fast.
This was your first time.
A thing.
And that's all it was. This was
your first time.
Not even sex, just holding a guy's hand by third year.
It's like a touch. Yeah. It's like a touch, and it's a smell. It's like a thing.
And we just held hands. I felt like forever. It probably wasn't even that long. That's literally all that happened. And I left that apartment terrified. And I was like, well, I'll see you later. And acted like that didn't happen. We're not going to talk about it. I'm going to leave. And I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah. That was kind of me.
And that was all that happened.
I mean, my kiss with Rusty was like literally a peck, and like it was more about like holding him, dancing with him, and I was like, and I remember like his beard hair, which wasn't even like beard hair, it was like stubble, and it was the same thing. It was touch, it was smell, it was just touching a guy, and I was like, wow, that is nothing like I've experienced in my life.
It's just total life. It was mind blowing, but like felt immediate shame of like hadn't thought about it before. What does this mean? What the hell is going on? And but it only took about a week later that I told the ex-girlfriend now, like, hey, held a guy's hand. I don't know what's going on. She's like, we got to tell your parents. Went, and about a week later told my parents and said, Mom and Dad, we're really close. I don't know what's going on. I held a guy's hand, but like, we're really close. I'm not even saying I'm gay. Like, I don't even know what's happening, but like, can we figure it out together? And it was tough.
So what year did you graduate high school?
2011.
You're way later than us. That makes some more sense then. Because you were 2002. You were 2002. I was 2004. You're older than me.
I'm just also really close to my parents.
I mean, I love that you just make that distinction.
Well, I'm older. You're older than me. But I would say in
Mr. Bailey.
But back to this.
But those wrinkles don't say that. Maybe I can afford to have Botox.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you in the head.
So shout out to Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center, Dallas, Texas.
Back here with us. In our world, if if you remember the way that I did, we went through gay marriage. Like we went through gay rights, gay marriage.
Well, he did too.
Like, but not in 2011.
Well,
I was at-
like
I was-
Prop 8 like was a big thing in California, like, and then it was repealed. And
So you were 21 in 2014.
were you?
I don't know.
How old are you
Brad
now?
was
Are
the
you
one that's
30?
good at math.
Are you 30?
Girl.
33.
You're
33. He is 33.
And I remember, so I think when the marriage happened,
No,
I was at
graduated in
I was at
2007.
from high school.
Yeah, that's what I asked you.
Oh,
2007.
I thought you asked from college.
No, that's what I was like. Wait a minute, you're
I graduated
not-
college
Because I was talking about college. I thought you meant.
No. Okay, so I'll take that back with that. Then
He's like, actually, you're old, just like us.
yeah, you're old.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
I mean, the youngest of this group,
Because
but still,
you-
I know that I'm.
You gotta
yeah.
remember, like I know in my day when I came out, that was young.
You can find Adam in this book here, the 1850s to the 1950s.
well, but Reynolds too.
Reynolds in the
in
first few chapters.
He's in the 1700s. But and I have a
They didn't even have photos back then.
I have a crazy.
Okay,
I love it
that-
because we say that he's the best looking.
I mean, he's
And
the best
he's in the
looking.
first chapter
And
of
he's
this
like a
ancient
vampire.
book.
I mean, really, he
Okay.
really is. Okay.
I have a crazy. When my first realization of being gay and my coming out story was hysterical, but it's different worlds that we went through. I feel like.
Just a couple years.
yeah.
Can
Well,
make a
it's
difference.
just a couple years.
But also different areas too. So I grew up on the East Coast, and like my first gay experience. Do you remember xy.com?
Oh my God, yes.
So my first
Well,
experience was
and Adam for Adam. I bet you don't remember
Adam
any
for
of these
Adam.
things.
Either of
Yeah.
those.
Dudes Nude.
Yeah.
xy.com.
I'm sorry, like I was on Yahoo chat rooms
Yeah.
back in the day.
AOL, men for men. M for M.
M for M. Back when I was a little high school student, which is really probably I was talking to pervs that like were literally on Dateline.
Mhm.
I for sure was watching Queer as Folk on my little like tube TV in my bedroom. God, mother, I hope you're not listening to this. I'm not even going to tell her that we're launching this podcast, by the way. I'm going to just say
I
it like
hope we're-
perpetually was delayed. She won't know. I don't
She'll
think.
believe it at the rate we're going.
At the rate we're going, she'll totally believe it. We'll distract her with other things. But I totally was watching, and I know she knew I was probably watching it. But I was like, oh my God, Queer as Folk. But then I was on Yahoo Chat, and I was talking to these guys. I was like, yeah, I'll totally meet you. And I was
That's
like
hot.
15.
Oh.
So
I mean, but literally, I don't think you could send pictures.
So no, you could.
You
So
could?
I was probably 14 or
I
15.
probably did it.
So hold on. So I was 14 or 15.
Girl, I probably did. But did we have digital pictures back then? I had like
you
that
could-
have like a
camera.
Hold on.
face cam?
You
Face-
could remember you had the actual camera that you would plug in.
Yes.
And you were doing.
USB.
So here's the thing: is
Yeah.
I got caught by my mother when I was in middle school,
Damn it.
and my mother, I was catfishing with somebody else's pictures because I was so scared to be out. I wouldn't use my pictures, and I used like a hot surfer dude.
Oh.
And my mom was like, "Who is this? And what are these pictures?" And I literally said to my mother, I was like, "Oh my God, the girl Tony from school totally took my like username."
Wait,
and
I'm sorry.
password."
Like when we originally talked about doing this episode,
And Tony was a female.
didn't you want to talk about being catfished? And then you
I
were
did.
And now
catfishing?
we're talking about
Okay,
you
first of all-
catfishing.
First of all, I was also
I just wanted to point out the irony. We'll talk about your
I also was
your rant about being catfished that other time,
But
but
I
I just
was-
wanted to call it out
I was
first.
also 14, 15, but I wasn't like,
But like, I
Hold
just
on.
wanted to call out
hold on.
the dramatic irony of Mr.
I- I
Try
Bailey.
to
don't-
not talk over each other.
It's him.
It's
I
me.
would-
I'm the problem.
He's
I
the
would-
problem.
It's
I'm
me.
Taylor. I'm Tom.
But I would also say with that, yes, but I would talk short term to people, not years.
Fair.
And I also wasn't in my later ages doing that. So anyway, so like I had very short chats. But when I actually stopped catfishing when I got of age of like 18, I actually met a really good friend, my friend Matt Hill, who I love Matt. Matt's amazing. I love him to death. But I met him on AOL M for M. Like we were in a group chat. I lived in Maryland. He lived in Alabama. We stayed in touch for, I'm going to say 12 years before we met.
Wow.
And then I went to Alabama and he took me to a Sarah Evans concert, and that's a whole different story.
I love Sarah
Evans.
That's a crazy story. That's a crazy
in
story.
the bucket.
But so let me get back to this. So my first sexual like story was I was living in Baltimore. I was 16, so wrap your head around all this. I had chatted online with a guy who was 34, and he was fucking hot. And I drove to Harrisburg every weekend to go hang out with him. And we never did anything like super sexual.
Coffee with gays. Yeah.
We did.
God, we're doing this.
We did.
Out in the morning.
We did. Hold on. I don't know if I can get that far. So we did. We did.
Every sip is a story.
We did oral stuff. But hold on. So my first sexual experience, and he felt so bad that I drove so far, he would give me $20 every time. So then I literally would get in my car and I would cry because I was like, just like you said, like, I was like, oh my God.
You got $20?
Was it that you felt like you're getting, like you're a sex worker, or is it?
At first, I literally was crying because I was like, I can't believe that I'm so ashamed of just being gay.
Yeah.
And then I would look at the $20 and I'd cry and I'd be like, but I'm a gay prostitute.
And no shame in that either. But at that age, you know, like,
I would cry.
There's a lot of feelings.
And like, it's a ton of emotions that's behind that. And I would stop by the same gas station every time. And I would just like wash my hands and like pee and wash my like face and be like, I have got to get this disgust off of me. Like I'm a sinner and I can't believe that I did this. And like, I'm going to burn in hell. And then like, I would get home and then I'd be like, it's Friday next weekend. Like,
time to do it again.
Like, and I would go up there. And I still to this day would love to see what he looks like now, because think of it. That's
what if he's ugly?
20 years,
don't
30, 40, 50.
No.
That's on next week.
He's like, he would be like 60 years old now. I wonder what he looks like.
I bet he's hot.
Like
I mean, maybe he's a hot daddy.
So anyway, so this happened when I was very young, and I fought this all through high school, through middle school, high school, and after high school. And like I had girlfriends. And my last girlfriend was Lindsay, and I adored Lindsay. I loved her to death, but I loved her as a female, not as a girlfriend, which was sad because.
And Lindsay, we're really sorry that you had to deal with Mr. Bailey. Like,
so there's a funny story behind this.
and his constant need for attention.
Did you always have diabetes? Is that like a thing that's
since
like
I was 11?
Okay,
but like also just like the need for attention and everything.
Yeah, not just a need for a Diet Coke.
I'm sorry.
Not
We're
just
talking about you, or we're talking about me now?
I mean,
maybe a little bit of all of us.
I mean, maybe a little bit of all of us, but like poor Lindsay. I mean, I can't even imagine.
I like.
But like as a gay man, like I get it. Like Matt has to deal with like you, but like you're a dramatic gay man, like duh. But like a poor woman, like because I don't know what straight man acts like this.
But hold on, you can also
like charcuterie that doesn't have cheese. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was just glad there was food included.
I know. And like a straight dude is like, hey, yeah, man, it's like some fucking food. Oh wait, hold on, I'm masked. I'm a hot masked dude with the
back up. If my high school days into like after high school, I was a Walmart shopper. Like I would go to Walmart to get
like toilet seats,
like toilet seats,
like toilet seats,
like toilet seats,
or toilet seat.
Oh, fuggy.
Like get the coverage.
This ain't coffee.
I need another refill. I need a refill.
What refill?
And we can talk about our sponsor. And I have to pee.
Who's our sponsor?
You're just cutting me off completely.
I have to pee.
He's on a roll.
I have to. Are you on a roll? Oh my God, you're on a roll.
Okay.
So anyway,
it's like I have diabetes.
Is this what diabetes is like? With that.
And no, it's okay. In all fairness,
it's because of the surgery.
It's no different. It's because of my surgery, and then it's pressing.
It's pressing
on my bladder like your diabetes does. Anyway,
so
continue.
It's
actually I repositioned myself.
Finish this, and
you're good now. You're good now. Yeah.
So I dated this girl, Lindsay, who I absolutely love. Lindsay,
and we love her too.
And I still talk to Lindsay and her family. And
can we have Lindsay on the show?
Oh my God, we could,
but without you.
Are we gonna? Can we all have our like a girlfriend?
Could we do that? Mine's in Maryland.
Mine's in
Well, we
Florida.
can do it via.
She's like
First
married to
girlfriend?
my like best friend. They have 2
By the
kids.
way,
I was the best
guys,
man in their
let's
wedding.
not forget we're recording on a platform that doesn't like you to record in person, which has been the problem. So yes, we can easily do that.
Oh, so it's easier to do it different.
Yeah, it's actually
the hard
easy
part is actually doing it in person in the
it's
same
harder
place.
than it is to do remotely. Yeah, for sure.
Oh. I mean, I think that we should have one of our biggest like girls
Hey, girl.
of our lives come on
Oh.
because
Yeah, my
it would be
girl.
funny to hear stories. Like, I think that'd be hilarious. So anyway, something about this. So Lindsay, like, I still talk to her family. I still I'm friends with her mother, and I know all of them. So Lindsay, I dated forever, and I'm telling you, I adored Lindsay like you would not believe. Like, she was the Grace to my Will and Grace.
Okay.
Right.
For all you older folks.
So Lindsay, after a while, she would get really upset, and she'd be like, "You don't love me. Like, you don't look at me like you should. You don't." And I just looked at her and I was like, "I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't put a girl through this. I can't make somebody feel like this and keep trying to push this gay world off of me. And actually, I need to embrace it." So then I literally told my friend Brittany, and then the best, because I'm going to shorten this up, is I told my mom, and I was like, "Mom, I've got something to tell you." And she was like, "Oh my God, you got Brittany pregnant." And I went, "Nope, but you're going to wish I did. So hold on." And I was like, "I'm gay." And she was like, "Oh, that's it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Did you know?" She was like, "No, stranger things happened." So then St. Patrick's Day weekend, I know.
I'm sorry, stranger things happen?
I never asked
Mr.
my mother.
Bailey.
We'll ask
You're
my
a
mother.
stranger
We'll
thing?
ask my
I mean,
mother
you
that.
are a stranger thing.
We will ask my mother that later. But
Who's stranger than?
so
I do think we should have a mom show
that would be
for Mother's Day.
I love moms.
Oh,
my
that
which
sounded
is
awkward.
coming up on my. Oh shit! Mother's Day is Sunday before my birthday, and I'll be here. We should do that with her mother.
That's May what?
May. It'll be May. Mine's May 9th, which is 7th this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta
And
wait.
we should do that with my mom. You guys just met this last weekend.
Yes. Okay.
And
So
she
hold on.
loves it.
So Lindsay and all of her friends and I go out for St. Patrick's Day. And at St. Patrick's Day, I literally leaned into Lindsay and I was like, "So," we had already been broken up by then. I was like, "So, just want to let you know, I'm gay." And she is like 5'4", maybe 95 pounds soaking wet. Like, she's a very petite little girl.
Soaking wet.
Love her. Soaking wet. And she jumped in my arms, which I still had the picture today. And she was like, "Oh my God, it wasn't me. It was you. I love you.
It was you.
It was you, wasn't it?" And I absolutely cherish that. And I can remember that like the back of my hand.
I don't
and
know if mine feel that way.
That's really sweet.
I love her to death. But yes, before her, I was a prostitute.
And
That
she
was
loves
it.
you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she absolutely loves me. What do you mean? What does that look for?
No, I think that's great because I don't think every story is like that. I think there's probably because like obviously Blaine may have a different story with a girl.
No, I mean mine actually all were positive. I think we all are on good terms, and everybody understands me now, and we're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have no bad coming out stories. Like, I don't have anyone that hates me. My grandma and I reconciled before she died, so we're good. Like, I have zero lost people, I think, except for that weird lady that outed me, though. Like, this was my thing on MySpace. I have to say this. So I put that I was gay on MySpace because I was being a rebel. Because I'm a rebel. Look, I'm a rebel, and like I just didn't want to like come out like it wasn't a thing. So I just put I was gay on MySpace. And I thought it was like kind of funny. And I also started getting all these guys. Well, my mom, because my mom is like me, basically, she decided to like go on my MySpace. And I guess I like had a guy on MySpace that like was going to bathhouses in San Francisco and like dropping ecstasy. And I just been in San Francisco for a debate tournament in college. And,
dropping ecstasy.
And so she thought, of course, because it's my mother, that I had been in San Francisco dropping ecstasy with the guy, even though that was just his blog on MySpace. She didn't know how MySpace worked, right? And the way she found my MySpace is this woman from church who wanted me to date her daughter. Originally told my mom, like, "Hey, is Blaine gay? And my mom goes, probably, but I don't know. Why would you say that? And she said, well, he's got this thing called a MySpace and it says he's gay. And my mom was like, I don't even know what MySpace is. That's how she found it. The disturbing part of this whole story, right, is the woman who outed me to my mom about the MySpace gay thing and everything didn't actually want her daughter to date me. She actually told my mom eventually, and they finally had a falling out, thank God, over this one. But she told my mom that she actually wished I was older because she wanted to have sex with me. And I was 16 when she like fell in love with me, and she was like 40s.
She wanted to have sex with Big Bird?
She was in love with me. Well, she like this came out like because my mom and her were friends, and when they were having this huge fight over me, like and this MySpace situation, she was like, "Oh, I always, just like thought Blaine was so hot, blah blah blah, and I just wish I was like, his age so I could date him."
The mom
is
saying this.
Yeah, but she had been trying to hook me up with her daughter. So it really came out that like the mom was like this freaky pedophile who wanted to fuck me when I was like 15 and 16, trying to hook me up with her daughter, and then basically found out that I was gay through MySpace through her daughter, and then outed me to my mother and the pastor of the church. And then that next Sunday, the pastor had a sermon and said that anybody, and by the way, I love God. I am a Christian. By the way, I'm a gay Christian. I think you can totally be that. So I'm not saying like anti-Christianity here. I think this is just this pastor, this church. So I just want to be clear about that. But he did have a sermon that said, if you are the parent of a gay kid, then you fucked up as a parent.
Oh my God. He blames the parent.
But it was the woman who was basically a pedophile who literally was lusting after me when I was 15 and 16 years old and trying to get me with her daughter. And then like literally ended up telling my mom like, oh, did you know Blaine's gay? Blah, blah, blah. When I went in college. Such a sicko. This woman was such a fucking sicko. We ended up having to block her on everything. She ended up stalking me. She was calling me, texting me, like after I came out. Like it was really, really, it was actually the most traumatic thing in my life. And like it took me a little bit to get over. But yeah, that was my coming out story.
Wow.
Was a sicko pedophile woman from a church. The Nazarene Church, hallelujah, in Sherman, Texas. Shout out to y'all.
Sherman.
But my parents left that church after that, and they literally walked out. They were very upset, and it took them a long while to like, find a church that was right for them. But like it's like I said, it's not all churches are like that. But it was that one, and it was that one weird fucking woman. Isn't that weird and gross? And I was like, I'm sorry, you're like a pedophile. Like, not like a pedophile. You are a pedophile. Like, you've been lusting after me since I was 15. And now you're, like, so obsessed with me. Like, you, like, had to tell my mom I was gay. Because I wouldn't have sex with your daughter or you.
That's crazy.
How long did that go on? So 16? And then when did you find out or tell her that?
Tell her what?
That she was a pedophile.
No, I mean, like...
Or, like, I guess at least come to that realization.
I was 21 by the time
a few
that I got outed. But... it all came out that she like was obsessed with me when I was 15 and 16. And she was trying to get me with her daughter.
Yeah.
And then it came out because she was like telling my mom that I was gay on MySpace.
Really
and then I was like, well, why is she saying that? And then I ended up getting these conversations. And then she started texting me. And then she told my mom, she's like, well, I wanted him, but I was just too old. So I wanted him to go with my daughter. Oh, and I was like, God. And then I told my mom, I was like, she's a pedophile. Like, that's disgusting. And then like, this is the person that outed me. Like, really? Anyway, it was a little traumatic, needless to say. And that was my coming out story. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. So women can be pedophiles too.
Wow.
And for gay men, I guess.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
We say every sip's a story, and if that wasn't a sip,
her name was Jacqueline something. Sherman.
Jacqueline.
Okay, don't come after her. What a bitch.
Lord.
Fucking
wow.
Hate that lady. Anyway.
Well,
yeah. We all have stories.
We do.
Every sip is a story.
Every sip.
We got a lot
There's
of
a
sips.
few sips in this one.
We got a lot of sips.
And there's so many sips coming ahead
A lot
because
of-
I know there's so many stories.
A lot of sips and a lot of stories.
Catch you next time on Coffee with Gays.
Happy days and time to go to bed and get up tomorrow and
Conquer the world.
yeah.
Cheers. Conquer the world.
Cheers.